Welcome to the Nat Ones, another D&D podcast. This is actually Azentuary Season 2, but we roll so many Nat Ones on this podcast that we figured maybe it was time for a name change. Hi, I'm Ben, your benevolent DM. I don't even know what's going to happen this season, but I guarantee it's going to be quite the adventure and a lot of fun. So let's all kick back and enjoy it together. First, new character introductions.
Alright, I am Dane Stonemaster, Outlander Mountain Dwarf. I am 40 years old, just a stripling really, as far as dwarven terms. I have recently lost my family and decided to go out into the world and make my mark upon it.
Excellent.
I am Castros, the Tiefling Druid. I am derived from the city, but I do not enjoy people company. Animals are far superior, even the ones that want to kill me, because at least they're interesting and are better for conversation.
Awesome.
I am Ray. I am an Outlander Wood Elf Ranger. And really, I don't know how I ended up with these schmucks, but I'm stuck with them now.
And I am Alpha, Gondian Envoy, here to spread the word of Gond throughout the realms.
I think this is going to be amazing. So, I wasn't sure how to draw everyone together, but I had this idea, and it is, as you guys are traveling, either separately, together, or otherwise through the forest, you suddenly see a blazing meteor flying overhead and crashing off in the distance. Not far off, but not close enough to harm you. Intrigued, you go towards it. Each, of course, for your own separate reasons. I'm sure Castros would be interested in the raw power of it. Alpha would be interested in the metals available. Dane would recognize the stones. And Ray, well, I'm not sure. But Ray's a ranger, and rangers seem to like this type of stuff. So
Castros wants to see how much fire there is.
There you go. All right. You make your way through a wooded area and see a crater. In the bottom of the crater, as you look over, is not a meteor, but a humanoid. Small, maybe gnome-sized.
Oh, okay.
Hello, fellow bipedal. Is this normal occurrences for you? Oh, and there are other bipedal friends nearby. How do you do, fellow bipedal individuals?
I think you confused them.
No, I'm not confused.
Castros just looks at this weird walking, piece of metal and just kind of, smiles at it. But, doesn't say anything. Well, gosh darn it, these pieces of metal don't belong in the forest.
I do fine. How do you do?
Oh, one of you speaks. This is glorious news. Tell me, is this a normal occurrence? He points at the gnomish creature in the crater.
It's all my life, and not that I know of. I've never seen anything like this sort.
No, this is very unusual.
Castros once again says nothing but smiles at everybody else.
Is there a structural flaw with your friend here? They seem to be unable to communicate.
I don't know. He's not my friend. First time I've seen him.
Curious, indeed.
Castros just acknowledges everybody, gives them all a very specific, distinct look, and then strokes what seems to be a ragged piece of fur on his shoulder.
Alpha starts making his way towards the gnomish individual in the crater.
All right. Let's see here. I think.
Hello, friend. Do you require assistance?
You see eyes kind of flutter open, and then all of a sudden, shock, and a hand reaches up towards you.
Oh, is this a way of greeting? Pleasure. Reach out to the hand as well.
It grabs your hand and starts to pull.
Oh, I am happy to assist with regaining traction. Here. Helps pick him up and put him on his feet.
It wobbles around and is having a hard time, and then just slowly starts to speak. Warren, You who speak. Hold on. You can tell there's obviously confusion as this poor creature is trying to organize its words. And by the way, it comes up to like Alpha's knee. It's very small.
Okay. I also how hot is this crater right now?
It's smoldering, but it's not like blistering hot. It's more like warm earth.
Okay. So I make my way down to the bottom of the crater as well to see if I can kind of lend a hand.
I will also make my way down, but just to see exactly what this thing is.
All right. Well, as you approach, you start to notice that, and I just didn't give this description before because Alpha wouldn't care or notice, but those of you that are, more standard
Organic?
creatures, hominids, species, I mean, you're not human, so I figured it's hard to say people.
Right.
You notice this is a incredibly attractive gnome-shaped and sized entity. Like, you've never seen a gnome that's pretty, and this one is pretty.
Oh. Does it look male or female?
Androgynous.
Yeah, gender doesn't matter, Dane. Ray wants to know exactly how attractive this individual is.
Oh, gorgeous.
In an androgynous way.
But
10 out of 10.
Kind of like a short anime character.
But they're short.
Yes. Yeah,
He always to go after taller men.
K-pop gnome.
Ray will keep this gnome in the back of her mind for later. Castos is going to completely ignore the gnome and just look at the meteor. Or is the meteor completely gone and in its place is just the gnome?
Yes, there actually is no meteor. It looks like the gnome was what crashed.
Castos is sorely disappointed.
Okay.
Ray is going to question the gnome. Well, what incarnation are you doing here?
You see it kind of stutters and then reaches its hands out, looking at you, and it just says, "They're rising! They're coming! We have to get help! The old ones! They're gonna destroy the world! Please, help!"
And Castor speaks for the first time. Okay, this sounds exciting. I'm in.
Excellent. And with that outburst, you see the life kind of drain out of its eyes, and it just falls over backwards.
Shut. Castor's gonna loot him.
Okay. There is... you don't find anything. There's no coins or anything in the pockets. It's just like a very thin, almost monkish robe.
I'm gonna actually check for signs of life to see if I can discern any breathing or if the chest is moving up and down or anything.
Okay, roll a medicine check.
All right. No, nat one.
You're like, oh, it's dead. All right. Do you want to just like push some dirt over it, or?
Alpha just looks and says, "How unfortunate. The construction of this entity seems to be quite poor. Frailty is a very major issue that we must overcome at some point."
Castos is very disappointed to not find any loot on this dead gnome's body. He doesn't even care if it's dead or alive or not. He's probably proficient in medicine enough to know whether he's alive or dead. He just doesn't care. He's gonna take his stuff, but finding nothing, his body language looks very disappointed, but he still smiles.
Okay. Creepy, I like it.
What we doing now? Well, it sounds like something is on its way. And I definitely want to be here when it comes.
I think we should go visit the nearest center of learning and try and find out anything we can about these supposed old ones.
Learning ain't my strong suit.
Alpha, have you heard anything at all about old ones?
One moment while I check. Uh,
My life and don't know anything about no old ones.
nope. Alpha
Does
roll a
Castor
6.
out old ones with his extensive knowledge of plants?
So, wait a sec, you rolled a 6, you said?
Yeah.
Nice.
Can
Yeah.
Castor see?
Even with my proficiency in religion, I do not believe Alpha is able to overcome his recent creation limitations.
Definitely not.
Castor's able to roll to see if he understands what the old ones are?
Sure, yeah.
Is that a history check?
Yes.
He got an 11.
You think deeply, and you say, I remember something like a story from when I was a kid, but I can't bring it to mind.
Even if I did know, I wouldn't tell you. Ray doesn't know too much about this, but she's gonna try to remember just for the heck of it. 13.
Something similar. Like you recall, like, what would it be a good example? Sitting around the campfire and telling scary stories to each other, like basically a story like that.
Legends. All right.
Question, mystery travelers who are now, for some reason, coming upon the same area as I am. What constitutes an old one? Are you old? Are you the ones that are coming?
No, we are not. I really don't know. I am assuming that it means maybe some kind of, forgotten god or titan or some kind of other planar being of great power and most likely apocalyptic tendencies.
How
I mean,
curious.
you're not entirely wrong.
This is very interesting news indeed. I had assumed someone like Gon may be an old one, but he is not forgotten. Therefore, he does not qualify for your description. Curious indeed.
Yes. So I think we need to go to the nearest city that has like some kind of a learning center or university or a library and see if maybe we can find someone that can point us in the right direction, so to speak.
I already find this dwarf infuriatingly boring. I ain't too keen on leaving my post, but I guess I'll go along with y'all.
Oh, what wonderful news. More individuals to help understand the glory of my creator. Tell me, are you familiar with the glory of Gond?
There, okay.
No, I've never had much interest in religion.
Kessler
Oh,
just
what
smiles.
splendid news. We have much to discuss on the way to this city you are describing.
Yeah. Well, I'm an outlander. I am kind of from the wilderness myself. Do you happen to know what direction there might be a city in?
I do know a settlement in this direction, as he just points back where he came from. Says, but I do not believe they have any further need of me there spreading the word of Gond, and I do not know how receptive they would be to outsiders being in the area. Perhaps this road we were on may lead to some other establishment? I am led to believe that roads connect one place and another of great interest and travel.
Well, let's
I say we listen to the walking metal.
sounds good to me.
Hi, what interesting description. I was smote in some parts of me, but I am not all metal.
Great to hear it. Now let's get moving. Castros just says nothing but decides to follow the party anyways.
Nice.
Because anyone who comes across this forest dies way too easily. He must find bigger foes.
That's awesome. Okay. So, you make your way along the road. It actually is pretty easy going. Obviously, this is the path more traveled by. You eventually come upon a decent sized town. Let's say, maybe if you were to guess, 1,000 people or so.
Okay.
I mean, just at a glance.
Okay.
And
So 1,000 people?
what?
So 1,000 people?
Yeah, 1,000 or so. I think that's a good start.
Okay.
At least in the town proper. What?
Seeing proper developments in areas such as this is always a joy to see.
Very nice. So I guess my description would be like that would be what your core of your town would be, and then you've got your like suburbs and stuff beyond that. The people that live there to be lawyers, professionals, whatever, they live in town, whereas your farmers and so forth live further out, and woodcutters and all that.
So is this I'm assuming this is probably a walled town then?
Yes. I'd say standard Mott and Bailey, maybe.
Okay. All right. So I don't think I've ever actually been in a real town before, so I am kind of, trying very hard not to appear like a country rude, but I'm still kind of in awe at everything. I've never seen buildings this tall or these many beings in one place before in my entire life. So I'm a little shell shocked.
Gosh darn country bumpkin.
Yeah. So I make my way to the gate, and then I'm assuming there's guards there.
No, this gate is, there's no standing guard. It's during the day. Gates are open, obviously inviting of trade, people to come in and out. This doesn't seem like a, high crime or high risk area.
The sooner we solve this mystery, the sooner I can get back to my post.
All right. So I've always heard that you can get good information in a tavern. It's kind of the meeting place of everybody. So I think I am going to find the nearest pub and see if there is somebody there that can direct me to a place of learning.
Okay. Well, as you walk in the gate, you see there's kind of like a barracks off to the left, some type of accounting office-ish on the right, and then the next building down is rather long. It's got a broad face on it, and you see a sign that says "Travelers Rest Inn."
Oh, perfect. So I am going to go on the front door there and find the innkeeper.
Okay. You walk in and you see someone working behind the counter. There's pretty much a standard like bar setup, some tables, chairs, places to, gather and sit. There's a couple of patrons there, and then the person behind the bar.
Alpha follows him in because he's curious what about these establishments of eating and drinking.
So the dwarf didn't raise any eyebrows, but the giant warforged that just walked in made everyone kind of stop what they're doing and look over.
He's not giant. He's maybe, about 5'10", 6 foot tall.
Yes, compared to the 4-foot dwarf and the other two companions.
4'5", thank you very much.
Well, I was guessing.
All right.
Everyone stops and stares. He raises his hand and says, "Greetings, we are travelers. Is this where we rest?"
The person behind the bar says in a kind of shake, "Yes? What can I do for you?"
All right, so
what a pleasant question to ask. Have you heard the glory of Gond?
And this is a maybe mid-30s human, light facial hair, mostly up in a mustache. And he kind of rubs the back of his neck and Can't say as I know much about a Gond.
Oh, what joys to hear. Please, if anyone would like to hear the glory of Gond, I will be sitting in the back corner here. I would love for you to come and speak with me about my God's glory. He just goes into the corner and stands.
He kind of eyes you and goes, "Okay."
Okay.
Anyway,
Castor's just gonna sit somewhere and like stare at everyone while smiling, just because he thinks it would be funny to see how he unnerves people.
awesome. All right, so you go over and sit down. I guess.
I belly on up to the bar and say, "Give me a pint of ale, please."
Ray searches for the most attractive guy in the room.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, your ale gets served, and you look around the room, and let's see here. I'll give you a couple of guys. You spot about an 8 out of 10 over sitting next to his 4 out of 10 buddy.
Go and make contact with the 8 out of 10.
Okay.
It's always great to have a few friends around.
He looks over at you and kind of tips his hat. Ma'am.
All right, so
Oh, joy upon joys.
I kind of
Social interaction.
sip on my ale, and as I'm sipping, I'm like, "So, innkeeper, is there a place of higher learning in this town?"
Higher learning.
Like a library, a university, some kind of a school?
Well, we don't have much for schools beyond what the kids go to, but if you go over to the accounting office there, old John, he basically is a librarian as well as he does the books for most of the town and most of the trade. So he'd be the guy I'd talk to.
You don't have a resident wizard at all?
Well, not in town. You could head out north and you could talk to Cricket up there, but that's a bit of a walk compared to, going next door.
Yeah, no, I'll try old John first, and we'll see what we go from there. Thank you kindly, sir.
Oh, you're welcome. Hey, you owe me a copper piece.
All right, I flip him a copper piece, and on out I go.
All right, on.
Kastros will follow the dwarf even though he infuriates him.
Ray
Okay.
will know the party is leaving and, quickly wrap up her no doubt intriguing conversation with the 8 out of 10 and swiftly leave.
Alpha is not getting any traction from any of the patrons. He says, "This is quite unfortunate. You could do well from the glory of Gond. These individuals listen patiently and the whole trip here. They are very good students."
That's only because I didn't have anything to gag you. Now get a move on.
Kastros has perfectly mastered the ability of tuning out others, so he was not paying attention the entire time.
Excellent.
Very nice.
All right.
Cool beans.
So you head over next door and you see a let's call him a middle-aged gentleman. He's probably about 50, leaned over a heavy book, quill in hand, making notes.
All right, so I approach him and I'm like, "So I'm told that you know a lot of stuff. Is that true?"
Well, I guess everything's relative. I know a lot compared to a lot of people, but a lot less compared to a few more.
Do you know of the glory of Gond?
Oh, yes, I know all about Gond.
Oh, excellent news indeed.
Thank the high heavens.
Kastros is gonna look for a book on inferior metal armor.
Okay, roll for investigate.
20.
Oh, God.
Not a nat 20, but
But with the modifiers of 20.
a dirty 20.
Good enough. You Yeah, you're walking around and you find the practical armor.
Yeah, he's gonna scribble his arguments in the sides with a piece of charcoal about how metal armor is stupid and how it's like, druid spiel, about how leather and hide armor are clearly superior and a better work of craftsmanship and everything, and it's much like more dignified form of armor. He's just gonna scribble that in the charcoal, like with charcoal on the side note of every single page in that book, and snicker the entire time.
Okay, roll sleight of hand.
Six.
Yeah, that didn't go over so great. He, the guy saw you and just completely flipped out. The hell are you doing? Give me that. Go over there.
Smiles at him but complies.
Now listen here, fine sir. We've come to talk about a problem that you might know the answer to.
Well, what is it? You're obviously here to destroy my books. You better have something better than that.
Castos just laughs from the sidelines.
He ain't with us. We come here to talk about a guy or someone named the Old Ones.
I'm gonna name the Old Ones. What brought this on? What?
We came upon this really pretty androgynous gnome-like creature that fell from the sky like a meteor, and he said the Old Ones were on their way.
He was mighty purty.
You see the old guy's eyes get really big and he turns pale, and he's like, no, it can't be. He then walks to the back of the room and reaches up kind of to the upper extreme of his shelf and pulls out a just beat up leather bound book and puts it down on his desk and starts opening it up, and he says, look here. And you see a picture of this like giant grotesque creature, and he says, I think this is what you're talking about, and if what you saw was what I think it is, then that means these guys are coming, and that's not going to be good for any of us.
So what are those guys?
Well, there was a time long ago before all the races of human and elf and dwarf existed as we do. These were the original inhabitants of this world. Most of them were rounded up, imprisoned, or killed by the gods. Some still exist. And if they're able to break their bonds, if they're able to affect the world again, we are all in incredible danger.
That's bad.
Fascinating. Are they not creators like the gods?
No, they did not create. They existed as immortals, battling each other, destroying, not letting life flourish.
Well, this is quite curious. Very unfortunate. I would not approve.
Again.
Castos is also very intrigued.
All right, good sir. This sounds like grave news indeed. Who do we need to talk to in order to try and stop this?
Well, I don't have enough information here. The person you need to speak to, and he flips the book all the way to the end, and you see kind of a crudely drawn map. He says, the librarian. He is the collector of knowledge. He is a being of incredible age and intellect. This map can get you somewhere near the entrance of his guarded chamber. You'll have to go through it and find him.
Big is the snap on like square miles? How many forests do we pass through? I want details.
Well, as you look down at the map, you can see where he's scribbled on basically the town and then a passage first through the gate to the east of town, and then out into basically the woods to where there is a marker tower, and he says that's the spot to go to.
Okay, so head east.
Yeah, out east, and then follow the road till you find the marker.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, that's not that far. I can deal with these losers till then.
All right, well, we're going to be off then. Thank you, sir. You attempt to enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh, I will. And you hear the shake in his voice as he flips back to the beginning of his book and starts looking at it, just horrified.
Ah, yes. Thank you very much, good sir.
His grin broadens at the sight of this man's fear. After he yelled at me for marking his stupid books. He deserves to feel fear.
Well, that was mighty helpful.
Actually, it was. So, shall we head east?
Yes, but only because I want to see how powerful this librarian truly is.
As much as I would love to go home, I will say I'm not gonna just stand by and let the world die. So count me in.
All right, sounds good. All right, cool. Alpha, are you going to be joining us?
Ah, yes. These entities sound quite destructive. This is not intuitive or productive in Dagon's plan. We must address them immediately.
All right. Well, then let us take our leave.
Awesome. I would assume you walk north first up to kind of the center of town. There's a basically large well, gathering place, town square, whatever, and then you can see straight out east to the gates and beyond.
All right. I don't personally need anything, so I'm all for just heading straight east.
Same. Don't want to be in here longer than I have to.
Yeah, Ray don't need to know nothing.
Ray don't need no nothing. Great grammar.
Shush.
So you head off, go for a walk, and it takes a little bit of time. You're wandering down the road for a while until you see a signpost, basically a stone spire, like an obelisk, and there is markings on it for various townships and so forth, basically directions. But one of them is a little different than the other. It points you to the north, and it's got some scribbly writing on it, something that looks almost draconic.
Okay.
Is it draconic?
Well, try to read it.
Yeah, can Castros try to read it?
Sure.
After all.
I mean, Alpha speaks draconic. Got a 16.
Oh, yeah. You look at it and you say, I think this says knowledge. It's an old dialect.
But derived of draconic. Interesting.
Very interesting. Okay. Yeah, I just shrug and be like, all right, interesting. I'm still for heading east.
To the east, it's got another, like a town name pointed on it. It says like Xylfil.
Oh, okay. Wasn't that old John? Isn't that kind of where he pointed us? Was east?
We said go east until the marker.
Okay. I didn't realize we hit the marker already.
Yeah, knowledge would
be the librarian.
Yeah, I would associate that with old men who call themselves a librarian.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So The one that says knowledge, where does that point off to? Does it say that you said north?
It points north from here.
All right, then we shall go north.
Let's.
Okay. So after a couple hours of really not much change, you see a stone building. It's probably about 10 feet square with a solid slab stone roof and a solid slab door on it. Obviously all stone.
Okay.
Excellent craftsmanship.
Yes, you would be impressed.
Okay.
Does the door budge when being pushed?
Yes, it very easily swings open.
Okay. So this is completely stone.
Yes, everything is stone.
Okay. So I'm going to kind of do an investigation. And I have stone cunning, so
Okay.
we'll see if I can discern something about this building from its construction.
Okay. Go for it.
Well, so that's just only a 10.
10. You are able to notice that this was pieced together by master craftsmen. The joints are, pretty well done. It looks like it's a watertight stone structure that doesn't appear to have any mortar in it, just joints overlapping each other. Even the door is hinged on a pebble that was rounded off.
But it doesn't scream any particular, doesn't say any particular race crafted it. I mean, does it look dwarvish or just gnomish?
You would assume, just given your knowledge of technique, that it was probably, there were some dwarven craftsmen involved.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so we just opened up the door, right?
Yep, swung right open easily. Finally
All right.
crafted.
Cool.
What awaits us inside?
A naturally lit, so the light from the outside illuminates a stairway that goes down into the earth.
So it goes down. It's a tower, but it goes down.
Well, it's not a tower really. It's like a 10 by 10 building.
Okay.
So imagine a cube, like a 10-foot cube with a roof on it, and then it covers an entrance that goes down into the ground.
All right.
All right, Cassos immediately just dives in. Why not?
Okay. You walk down the stairs until you reach a hallway that turns to the left. For ease of tracking, for if you want to draw something, we will call it, points, you are looking south. So you walked in, say, going west, and you made a left turn, and now you're facing south.
Going west, now we're facing south. Okay. And then we shall continue on.
Yep. Keep going. Does anybody here not have dark vision?
I have it.
Same.
I also have it. Alpha? Does Alpha have dark vision?
Nope.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, that's mighty helpful.
So let's see. So who has dark vision? Dane?
Everyone except for Alpha.
Oh, okay. Well then, and let's see, your passive perceptions are all, what do you got, like 12, 13, 15? Okay, so Ray, when you get to the bottom of the stairs, you can see that under a layer of kind of dust and grime, there appears to be something written on the wall.
Investigate it.
Okay? You want to... How?
Just see if I can, read it or what it's trying to depict.
Okay, so are you going to, clean it off or something?
Yeah, just, dust it off.
Okay, as you dust it off, you realize that these are words, and they look very similar to what you saw on the signpost.
Alpha, come on over here. Can you read this?
You can't see.
I mean, I do have something that might help, but do I really want to? Why not? Intrigued.
Pretty sure I have a torch in my backpack.
Oh, you have a torch in your backpack, but do you have anything to light it with?
Essential. Flint. I mean,
I guess.
He's made of metal. He could just like hit his arm against the flint to make a.
yeah, yeah. Just take the hand, take the thumb, and go zhink.
Well, Casper's could produce flame as well.
Yes, but does he want to?
Probably not.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay.
So Alpha takes out a torch, wraps it, puts fresh oil on it, and then takes out a piece of flint and just flicks his thumb across it to light the torch head.
Not very nice.
Yes, very interesting indeed.
So what you basically translate it as you're reading it, and it comes out like knowledge primus sinistris.
Okay.
You know, knowledge first, and then sinistrous, which
Probably means sinister.
or last. Knowledge first, last, possibly. I don't know.
I say we trudge on forward.
Let me see.
So who's the?
Alpha says, "Curious," and begins walking down the hallway with his torch.
Okay.
Fucking metal.
So you start walking down the hallway, and you see it goes for quite a distance ahead of you, but after not too far in, there is a door to your right.
Oh,
Go.
open the door and look inside.
Okay, hold on a sec.
Does the door open in or out?
Well, you attempt to open the door, and while it is a simple wooden door, it is stuck. You don't see a lock, it just seems to be stuck.
Curious indeed. The craftsmanship upstairs is much better than this one.
Okay. So I'm gonna see if I can just kind of force it.
Okay. Let's see. You can do a strength check, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. I just got my second nat 1 of the evening.
You give it a good push and you say, "Nope, that sucker's not moving."
I think I've rolled 3 times, but I've had 2.
Alrighty, well, I guess Ray's gonna try now. Try to just push it open.
Okay. And of course, Dane looks at you and is like, "No, that thing's really stuck. It's not moving."
13, I think.
Oh. You actually are able to start pushing it. You get it kind of moving. It's squeaking, it's fighting you, but it's opening.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Castros will not help her. Just watch. And stroke the piece of fur, what appears to be a piece of fur on his shoulder.
Dane's willing. I'm willing to lend a hand, so I kind of throw my weight against it as well.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was moving. It just moves a tiny bit faster, I guess.
Yeah.
You eventually get it open, and what you see is a room that's good sized. Let's call it maybe 15 feet across, but it's long. To your left, as you're looking in, it goes about 10 feet, and to your right, as you're looking north, it goes about 40 feet.
Cool.
Well, ain't that interesting?
Okay, so you say it's rectangular, and you say left, it's about 10 feet.
Yes, and yeah. So about to the left, south, you got about 10 feet, and to the right, north, about 40 feet. Additionally, as you're looking around, you can see what looks kind of like a well in the southwest corner of the room, and the ceiling is covered with pale stalactites.
Okay, so it's basically kind of 50 feet. How far in front of us does this room stretch?
About 15 feet across.
Are there
Okay.
any other doors that we can see?
Yes, as you look south, you see a door in the southeast corner. And as you're looking north, it looks like there's a door out each of the northern corners.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right.
Well, Castros is going to look at the well.
Okay. All right, so you walk over, and it looks like an old-style stone ring well. The kind you'd put a single bucket down to pull water out of.
Disappointing.
Well, not everything is treasure.
It's not a wishing well.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking for treasure. I was looking for dead bodies, but,
Okay.
You can find a lot of things in the well. Second most common thing to find in a well, other than water, dead bodies.
I guess it's true when they say one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Noted. All right.
Okay, so while she's checking out the well, I am going to check out the door to the south.
Okay. The door to the south is a simple wooden door. It looks just like the one that you just opened.
All right. I'm going to try to open it.
Okay. You go to give it a push, and it resists. So it probably a bit stuck as well.
Okay. Well, I'm going to see if I can unstick it again.
Okay.
I can't roll nat ones all night. So that is, I believe, a 7 plus my strength bonus would make it a 10.
Okay. It's you're able to get it moving. Like, it takes a little doing, but you get it moving.
Okay.
You get the feeling that these hinges used to be a lot better, and that they've degraded over time, and what you're overcoming is the weight of the door pushing on the rusted metal.
Right. Okay, so I kind of try and lift up the door a little bit as I'm pushing it open, and I'm assuming eventually I open it.
Yep, you get it open and you look inside. This room appears to be basically a mirror of the one that you were just in, long and skinny, roughly the same dimensions. As you look down, you look down and around, and there doesn't seem to be much, but as you look back over kind of next to you on the north wall, there's something written in Dwarvish.
Well, so I'm going to try and read it.
Okay, it says they ate Gaida. You're not sure what that means.
How do you spell Gaida?
Geidga.
Geidga. Okay. They ate Gaida.
Hmm.
Are there any other doors leading out?
Yes, as you look down the room, you see 2 on the east wall, kind of near the far end of the room, and 1 on the south.
Okay.
Since this seems to have multiple ways going forward, then Castros is going to run back through the other room and see if the northern doors go anywhere. He wants to make a clean sweep. He doesn't get out much.
Okay, so you run, as you go up to the north, you suddenly let's see. You see what looks like it's a purple plant that is more or less human-sized, mushroom, but a bunch of large holes going through it. And as you approach, there is an audible shriek that starts coming out.
Ooh, wasn't that fun? So it's a plant.
It's a plant, and it's screeching loudly.
Ah. Can I use my nature to try and see what this thing is?
Yes.
That's a 23.
23, wow. You know a lot about these things, actually.
I love these things.
You recognize this as a shrieker. The sound will stop after about 24 seconds, though it is audible for about 300 feet in the open forest. It will stop also if you just move out of its sensing range. And it has no damage resistances or particular vulnerabilities. And it's not immune to anything. It's just basically a fungus.
Alright, but not really harmful, just it screams.
Yeah, it's not it. Yeah, they are used as alarms, not as offensive.
Alright.
Which door did you open?
Yeah, she just went to the north of the room. She didn't even open.
Yeah,
the
I didn't
door.
open the door yet, so it's just in the room, just chilling.
Oh, okay.
Alright, Castors is just gonna nod to the plant, it's chilling, it's not doing anything wrong, just being itself. Understandable. I feel like, though, because it's such a loud thing, then the piece of what looks like a tattered piece of fur will raise its head, and a sloth will kind of blink sleepily, and Castors will just kind of stroke its head, and the sloth will kind of put its head back down after the plant goes quiet.
Awesome.
And then he'll go open one of the doors.
Okay, left or right, like east or west?
Let's start with the left one.
Okay. Make sure this is a simple wooden door, again, though this one seems to be able to open. And as you swing it open, you see something moving towards you on the other side, obviously drawn in by the shrieking.
Oh, hello! Thing moving.
Do you want to roll nature again?
Sure.
You're pretty good at that.
I'm very good with nature. Yeah, it's even better. It's a 24.
You actually have seen these type of creatures before. This is a troglodyte, but something is wrong with it. Its eyes are white, and it's kind of dragging a foot and a club behind it.
So it's an animal.
Or
So
is
it's
it
a
a
what?
Is it an animal?
No, it's a troglodyte. It's a...
Troglodyte, so it's like... Are these things normally aggressive?
Somewhat, yeah.
They're
They're
be out of it.
yeah, they're normally they're normally somewhat neutral but territorial. Though, like I said, something looks wrong with this one.
Yeah. That's why I'm wondering if animal handling would do any good against it. Probably not.
I think it's
No.
more in the monster
Yeah.
category than animal category.
That's what I was thinking. Can he, with his dark vision, can you see anything else of interest in that room?
Let's see. As you look around, a cube of solid stone stands on the west side of the room. Someone has scrawled something on it, though you can't make out exactly what from this distance.
Okay. Gazros doesn't like hurting animals/monsters if he doesn't have to, so he's gonna try to avoid it and just run past and read what's on the cube. But if it attacks him, he will attack back.
Okay. All right. So you attempt to dash by, and as you move close, the club gets swung around at you. Oh wow! And I nat 20'd.
Oh, great.
Wow, that's insane.
Oh, no.
It's not. It shouldn't be too bad. I mean, it's just a great club, so.
You say that, but level 1 druids do not have many hit points.
Well, true, but it's still. It only. Let's see. So I rolled it. Wait, I gotta roll that. Well, there goes that die. 9. So it's 10.
Yeah, guess what? That's enough.
Oh, geez. So he just like knocks you unconscious.
Well, that did not work, Castros thinks as he falls unconscious on the ground.
Oh no.
Ray senses a disturbance in the stupidity force and decides to backtrack to find the tiefling.
Okay.
Dane also hears the commotion and runs toward.
Well, you probably heard the screaming plant first.
Nah. Ray sensed a disturbance in the stupidity force before she heard any screaming. The screaming happened before this happened, numbnuts. She still sensed it. It was gonna happen.
Anyway, so Dane also rushes to help. I'm assuming
behind.
that Ray is closer, though, since Dane was all the way at the southern part of the room.
Yes, I'd say Ray gets there next, and then Dane.
Okay.
And then, well, I guess wherever Alpha was. Maybe in between, maybe Ray, Alpha, Dane.
Yeah, that sounds fine. That
Okay.
sounds right.
Alrighty, Ray enters the room.
Okay, you run in, and you just see this creature with its back to you because it just turned and hit your companion. Your companion is prone, face down on the floor.
Shoot it with my longbow.
Okay.
That's a 4.
Well, you're shooting him in the back, and so you run in and you shoot him in the back. So I'm gonna give you advantage on that, so you can roll 2.
Thank God. Okay.
We're
Still the 4.
Yeah, we're gonna go with the 4.
Okay. You're just fast. You whipped out that arrow and you shoot, and it just misses off to the side.
All
right. 15.
Oh yeah, you hit.
All right. And that's for 6 damage. And then as a bonus attack, punches again.
Okay.
17.
Yeah, it definitely hits.
And that's another 7 damage. So 13 damage total.
Wow. That's a hit. Jeez. Yeah, you severely injured it, and it's basically it takes those blows heartily and starts to turn.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Dane's gonna kind of rush into the room, and he sees that Alpha's managed to land a couple blows, and then he's gonna take a swing at it with his axe.
Okay.
So 9 plus 5, that's 14 to hit.
You hit.
Nice. Okay. Now I got to find. Where's my 1d8? Perfect. Oh, nice. So that's 11 slashing damage.
Jeez, you decapitated. However you want your blow to land.
Well, how tall is this thing?
Oh, 4 feet, about your height.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's going to be, yeah, it's just going to be a straight-on decapitation blow. Its head falls off and just kind of gives a sodden thump and rolls a little bit before coming to a rest, and then the body just kind of drops like a marionette whose strings got cut.
Awesome. Cool. All right.
goes to inspect our now unconscious friend.
Did your hit points fall to 0?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're
Mine is-
right on the cusp there, just passed out. So you could be healed or stabilized if someone wanted to do basically a medicine check and wake you back up.
I can do a medicine check.
Don't mess me up more.
16.
Oh yeah, you kind of help her regain consciousness. Put yourself at 1 hit point. You're awake and functional, but you're hurt. I mean, you got hit really hard.
Strauss is a man.
I'd like to imagine Ray just slapped him in the face and was just like, "Get up!"
Okay, I like that.
Alright. So Castros does not know any healing spells, but he has a +5 on medicine and has an herbalism kit. Could he try to concoct something to at least give him a bit back?
Yes, I'm fascinated to hear how this comes out.
So, like, he understands that Ray slapped him to get him to up again, but he just kind of pays no attention to her and just focuses on making this. Like, he'll get her back later. Like, when she doesn't expect it.
Okay. Well, yeah, if you want to roll for making something.
Yeah,
really
it's a
quick.
16 too.
That's a 16? Oh, wow. Yeah, you did pretty good. I don't want to be too, like, open-ended with what the kid has, but I'd imagine you have some things for pain management, some type of, natural antimicrobials. But for this, you probably basically whipped up more or less aspirin, something. And just to kind of take the edge off, maybe make it not hurt so much. So maybe like a 1d4 real quick.
I'll take that. It's 2.
Hey, better than 0.
have 3 hit points.
Hey, that's not bad for like an aspirin.
Yeah. Could be worse. It regained like 1/4 of my total health, so like
That's pretty good.
All right. I am going to go examine the block of stone that's in this room since we're here.
Okay, this as you look at it, let's see. Should make this in something else. Just for fun, because we're having other languages show up. Let's say this one is in... Oh, like deep speech or something like that. Like the under... Whatever it is. Undercommon?
Oh, you mean like the Underdark?
Yeah.
it derives from Elvish, so I'd say let the wood elf take a stab at it.
Perfect.
If only my favorite weapon, if only my favorite enemy was aberrations, then I would be able to speak it.
Try it anyways.
Go for it.
Alrighty. I'll use what little language I have.
Basically, you could do a history roll. How about that?
Alrighty.
This is your benevolent GM, and this is an ad break. Thank you for listening. Please join us at patreon.com/Azentuary, where you can sign up and ask us questions, which we'll answer in a monthly Q&A session. Or at a higher tier, you can become an NPC that permanently is a part of our fantasy world. Or even higher still, you can get all of our merchandise as we invent it. Give us reviews. Let us know what you think. All of it will be for sale eventually on Azentuary.com. But for now, if you could please support us, we're at patreon.com/Azentuary. And thank you for joining the adventure.
14.
Oh yeah, you're able to figure it out. You're not sure exactly if you're translating it right, but you say it basically says, upon the 5th day of the reign of chivalry, when the fox is broken and east becomes west, the Princess of Virtue shall be slain by the spear. But you don't think that you got all the words right, but that's the closest you could come to translate it into common.
Interesting. All right.
Okay, so the one before this was like, I don't know, like 3 words. This one was a poem.
Yes, but you're doing your best to translate from... The thing with Elfish is it can have short words that have very long meanings when translated.
Hmm.
And
So
this is speech, so
yeah, it's only a few words written down, but when you translate it, that's basically what it says.
it would be like, Spanish, so you're trying to translate Latin.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, or there's like in German, there's one word that translates to a face in need of a fist, but it's just one short word.
Interesting. Okay. So are there any other doors in this, any other exits in this particular room?
Yes, one to the south, and these are both on the south side of the room, but there's one that goes straight south out of the east corner and one that goes to the west out of the southern corner.
Well, they're looking at doors. Castorus is going to go to the troglodyte and see if he can kind of inspect it and see if he can tell what was wrong with it. Because he's
Sure.
never seen one act like that before. Would that be an investigation or...
Yes, please. Or nature. I'll let you do either investigation or nature.
One choose nature. That's a 19.
19. Oh, God, yeah, you're good at this. You look at it and you go, holy crap, this thing was dead for a while. This was not a living creature that was just slain.
Oh, it was
Interesting.
an undead
Well, then
Luddite.
if it's that looks like that, I won't have to worry about killing it because it's already dead.
Okay.
The undead Luddite. I like that.
So many doors.
Many doors.
This place is turning into a maze.
Many places to go.
Well, that is the point. It is guarding the librarian.
Okay.
Now that like Castorus has kind of like been able to do exciting things, like he doesn't really care about the people he's with, so he's like, all right, next door, let's go. Moving on. I got 3 hit points and my shoulder's still limp, but let's go.
Now hold your horses, partner.
All right. All right. So I'm going to say, listen, before we start getting too far ahead of ourselves, there's let's go back to our first room. There's one more door going out to the north. Let's try that one first. We don't, have to see if we can't do this methodically.
Okay. You're just going straight across from the west door to the east door?
No, well, so we're going to go back in our original room because there was like basically 2 doors there, right?
Yeah.
The right and the left one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to try the one that Castorus didn't open.
So that'd be the right
Okay.
one.
Yeah, the right one.
Sure. This is a stone door. You go to push it and it feels basically stuck like the wooden ones.
All right. Once again, I'm going to try to force it open. And that one's much better. 18.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you give it a good hearty push and it starts to budge, but you're going to need some help. Like, it's moving, but you're going to need help.
Rail help.
To roll.
Alrighty. 19.
Oh, wow. Jeez, you guys are doing good. Yeah, you push that door open and it opens up to just a dank, musky smelling hallway, which just past the door turns north.
Isn't Nori going north?
I think isn't it already going north?
No, it was going east. You push the door open to the east, and as you go through it, it turns north.
Oh, okay.
It was in the north corner of the room facing east.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
And that was the right? That was okay.
Yeah.
Okay. North corner of the room, facing east, and the other one was also kind of north-ish, but also facing east.
No, the one there's one straight across from it that faced west, and that's the one that you went through and fought the troglodyte.
Oh, okay. Got it. Getting a visual representation of this room. Okay, anyways. And then that turns north again.
Yes.
What are best to split up?
Considering the last time you split up, you got yourself owned. I'm gonna say no.
He's just gonna smile, but like, seriously consider stabbing her in her neck.
All right. Okay, so a dank quarter that goes north. And then we still okay. So I guess let's kind of see where this corridor goes.
Okay. It goes up. Actually, surprisingly short run, only about 15 feet, and then turns to the west.
Okay.
You can see a door at the end of the hallway here.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we try to open the door.
It is. You actually find this is the first one you've run into that's actually locked.
Huh.
Ah, I see.
Alright, well, let's come back later. Keep exploring, let's go.
Okay, I don't have any lock picking ability. Alpha, can you pick locks?
I can attempt.
I mean, being forged, I figure you might be mechanically inclined, being a Gondian envoy.
Yeah, he doesn't really have lock picking tools. He has tools.
Okay.
So yeah, I rolled a 7.
Yeah, that not going to work.
Okay.
So just as an FYI in general, in 5e, basically everything has a dice check and hit points. So every door comes with a listed like what you would have to hit to get over a like door's AC and how many hit points a door has.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it's weird, but it is there. So you can break them down if you want. It's just generally not recommended.
Is this a stone or wooden door?
This one's wood.
Huh. So you say. Uh-huh. Calsaurus is gonna bane it with his club.
Okay.
Just try to
give me an attack roll, I guess.
Well, it's a 21 to hit.
Oh yeah, you hit it solidly.
And then 10 bludgeoning.
Yeah, you break right through the door. You snap the lock off, the door collapses inwards and flies open.
Onward! Let's go!
Barbarian.
You walk through the open door and you realize you're on you're against a northern wall, and as you look south, you see a dead zombie troglodyte in the middle of the floor.
But it's like, is it like dead or like reanimated dead?
No, it's the one you just slayed. You did a loop around. This was another way to get it back into that room.
Castorus is sorely disappointed once again. Alright, let's go back.
Alright, cool. So we head back. We go to the southern room there that has the 2 doors on the south end.
Uh-huh.
And you said both of those doors. Well, do you have one facing east, one facing west again, or?
So wait, you went from the first room you entered. The door you opened to the south, is that the one you're going down into?
Yes.
Okay, so you not the room with the troglodyte in it, but the room with the well in it.
Correct.
Okay, that's
We
want
just
to make sure.
we just kind of continued on back into our first room, the one with the well in it, and then turned south to get into the southern room.
Yep.
Which has the 2 doors in it.
Well, there's actually 3 doors down there. As you look around, there's 2 that are next to each other, about 5 feet apart, that go on the east wall, and then there's one on the south wall, down in the southwest corner.
Okay, so 2 on the east wall,
Yeah, they're about. So if you went from the southeast corner up about 10 feet, there's a door, and then a 5-foot space, and then another door.
Okay.
All right. Is there any other shrieking plant down here?
No, you don't see anything.
All right. Let's try the ones on the east wall first. They're closer.
Okay.
Closer.
Which one are you trying first, the north one or the south one?
North. I
North.
think.
Okay. It actually is open. You are able to push it open and see there is a corridor beyond that goes north and south.
So there's two different directions?
Yes.
Ah. Let's go north then. I might just lead back to the room again.
Yeah, are you looking north or walking north?
I'm just gonna glance down the north corridor. I'm gonna
Okay.
look both ways.
When you glance north, you see that it is the corridor you entered.
The one that we used to originally get into the well room.
No, the corridor that you entered this entire underground structure from. Like, if you went all the way to the north, you could climb back to the surface.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
The
So-
structure is mighty confusing.
And what's south then?
South, it goes down about 20 feet, and then you see that it turns to the west.
Oh, let's go south.
Okay. You go south 20 feet, and you see a door to your west.
Okay.
I open it.
It is locked.
Well, take the club out again.
Okay. Oh, actually, this is and just real quick, this is a stone door.
Okay, well, it's a 23 to hit.
Out you hit.
Whoopee! I hit a non-moving door.
Yeah.
Damage not so good on that one. 4.
Or yeah, you didn't do anything to it.
But man, did it feel good to just hit that stone door.
If only my teacher was here, she could get this open in a jiffy.
Yeah, there might be a little like you took like a chip out of it, but generally speaking, it didn't really do much.
What now, genius?
We try again. Can he hit the door again?
If you want to swing again, yes, but
Yes.
I mean, okay.
He will hit the door again. Nobody else is doing anything else interesting. Why not hit the door? He hasn't hit anything because he didn't want to hit the troglodyte, and he regrets that action. So now he's taking his frustration out on the stone door. I keep getting better and better to hits. That is a 24 to hit.
Good lord. Yeah, you hit it.
Definitely taking out the frustration.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then 6 bludgeoning.
Jeez. Again, another just chip comes out of it. You've done some obvious damage to this door, but it's stone, so it can take a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
I kind of pipe up. Casseros, it might take you like all day to get through this. Why don't we kind of come back to this door? Maybe we can find a key or something.
He sighs and then lowers his club and then turns to the party with a smile on his face, like, "Fine, let's do that." It's just like,
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna go back into this southern room there,
Okay.
and let's try the southern east-facing door.
Okay. It is a locked stone door.
oh, so it went in the same way. Well, maybe it's a different door.
Okay, well, let's try the southernmost door.
Okay, you go down to the southernmost door, and it is open. It opens for you.
Okay.
Let's go
As
in.
as you look in, you see a corridor that runs east-west.
Okay.
Corridor that runs east-west. Alright, I'm gonna glance.
Let's glance
East,
east and see
yeah.
what that does.
You see it go down about 20 feet and then turn to the north.
Okay, it's probably the same corridor. And then what's west?
Goes down about 10 feet and then turns to the north.
It also turns to the north,
So
huh?
we're both going north.
Okay. All right, so let's go. Let's go, I guess, west and north.
Sure.
Okay. You go around there, and there is a door.
Is this door locked?
No, it is not locked. It is a unlocked good wood door.
Good wood.
Yes, it looks much nicer than the other doors. Like, it's probably been replaced recently, unlike the others.
Okay. Well, we shall open it.
Okay. You open it up, and this room looks exactly like the other two rooms that you've seen recently. The first one you were in, and then the second one. And this one is like a third mirror of that. Although, on this one, there are 2 additional doors that go to the west. One is up on the north side, almost the far north corner, and the other is on the south side, in the far south corner.
Okay.
I hate this place.
Well, I guess just keep forging ahead. Let's try the south door, going west.
Okay. You open it up, and you see inside, it immediately turns to the south. Basically, like, you open the door to the west, and there you step in, like, almost there's a landing, and then it turns to the south.
Okay, so it's like another corridor type thing?
Yep.
All right.
And I'll just describe this out, because basically you go down, and then it turns to the west. You walk down about 50 feet. Then it turns to the north, goes up about 15 feet, turns to the east about 15 feet, and then back north another 15 before you reach a door that is also pretty new compared to what you've seen before.
I'm going to try and open it.
Okay. You push it open, and you are in a giant room. It is 30 by 50.
That is
what?
That is a big room.
Yeah, it's big. It's a big open room, 30 by 50. On the far side, way over there on the east, you see a couple of they look almost like, how kids make paper mache volcanoes, but they're in the end of the room about 10 feet off the wall, off the east wall in. There's one about 10 feet north of the south wall and 10 feet south of the north wall. And
Okay.
then there's several doors in this room. There's one on the east side near the northern corner. There's 2 in addition to the one you came through. There's 2 on the south side, one on the east corner, one in the middle of the room, and there's a door on the west side, kind of near the north corner.
Okay, can I do a nature check to see what these paper mache science fair volcanoes are?
Yes, go ahead.
13.
15. You recognize them as a home of some kind, like a lodging, a burrow. There we go.
I'm not sure what animal.
No, but you get the feeling that it is something that is not natural in the forest, like something that was transplanted here.
Sounds like something that's good to avoid.
Yes, it does. You're exactly right.
I say we hurry along.
Okay, so you said there's a door in the northwest corner, a door in the northeast corner, a door in the southeast corner?
Correct.
Okay. And then I'm assuming we kind of come into the southern part of the room too, right?
Yeah, you're on the southwest corner. You came in on the southwest corner.
Okay. And you said there's one in the southeast?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so for a total of 5 doors.
Correct.
All right, good to know. Let's try. Ooh, those burrows kind of make me nervous.
Good thing to think.
So I'm gonna stay away from them. I'm gonna try the southwest corner door.
Wait, you're in. That's where you just walked through.
Oh, we walked in the southwest corner.
Yeah.
East.
So let's try the northwest corner.
Okay.
Because both volcanoes are in the east, right?
Correct.
Kind of by the eastern doors.
Yes. Correct.
How close are the two volcano things
To you or to each other?
to each other?
They're about 15
30.
feet apart
15 feet?
ish.
Okay. I'm gonna try a thing. Castros is gonna cast Entangle in that area with the volcanoes, and that will. So that basically, plants like vine-like plants will grow from the ground, and they trap things. So I'm hoping they might like cover the holes on top of the volcanoes and prevent anything from coming in. Everything, yeah, everything there will be ensnared.
Okay. Go for it.
But it also means we will easily be ensnared if we enter that area. So keep that in mind. 14 plus spellcasting modifier. 1 sec. It's gonna be over 20, so I'm gonna say that works.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it definitely works.
Okay, cool. So that is a
So-
successful casting.
Yeah. So just vines just fill up that entire area, that like in like a 20-foot square around those volcanoes, and just completely overtake everything.
Okay. Noted.
All right. So does that kind of block our access to those doors then?
Maybe. The terrain is definitely hard to navigate, and if you walk through it, you're gonna have to make a strength saving throw, otherwise you'll be entangled.
Yeah, I'll definitely say it blocks the door on the east side. You could get to the southern ones if you stay tight to the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, onward. Let's
All
continue.
right, so we'll try the northwest corner door.
Okay. You find that it opens, and there is a corridor on the other side that runs north-south.
Okay.
So many corridors.
Yeah, it's a maze. Oh, good lord. Well, I guess let's go north.
Okay. You make your way to the end of the hall, and it at first looks like a dead end, but as you approach, you realize that the area directly to your west is actually just a artificial darkness. Like, there is no stone there. It's just a shadow held in place.
Oh, that's kind of frightening.
Huh. Investigate!
Sure.
Yeah, that's what Castros is gonna do. He finds this thing very intriguing. Not boring in the slightest. It's an 11 on investigation.
You say, well, it's a hole. It's black. Maybe this is a black hole. And you like poke it, and your finger just goes in, and you don't feel anything weird.
We'll jump through. Seems safe.
Okay.
He may be smart, but he's bold.
Okay. Anyone else?
No, I think I'm gonna kind of hang back and see if there's anything that happens to him.
Yeah, Ray will let the test dummy test it out.
Okay. Well, you don't hear anything bad happen. You don't hear anything at all, in fact. As soon as the threshold...
You survive the wreck.
Well, you don't hear anything. And before I describe, because I don't want to just throw out what's going on, what you see on the other side after you walk through, let's just say you're okay. And if you wanted to, you could stick a head back through her hand or something.
I'll like stick a hand back through and like do like a beckoning, like coming, like come motion.
All right, I'll shrug and I'll head on through.
Ray
Okay.
will roll her eyes, sigh, wonder why she's still here with these idiots, and then follow.
You're the one with a -1 on intelligence.
You shut your mouth.
Awesome. Well, as you step through, you see basically a pristine, beautiful library. There are glowing crystal light sources throughout on top of each of the stacks. There are wonderfully colored bound volumes all over. And what you pass through is, as you see on this side, a darkened archway that was obviously a portal or barrier of some kind to separate this place from the entrance you just passed through.
I look around and be like,
This seems like a library where a
must-
librarian would be.
exactly.
Awesome.
All right, so I'm gonna call out, hello, Mr. Librarian, are you here?
There's a bit of a rumble and some shaking. The books all stay in place, but you definitely feel it. And about a minute later, you see a shadow moving across the crystals, and then a interesting-looking creature comes down between the stacks. And not so much spoken, but you hear in your minds, "Hello."
We need your help with something.
Oh, and what might that be?
Cassius is just like sees this like amazing thing that he's like probably never seen before, so his smile just gets like huge. Like he's very happy with how this has turned out.
I pipe up. We ran. There was this beautiful androgynous gnome creature that fell from the sky and said the old ones are returning. So we're trying to find out more about the old ones.
You see a moment of snap that snaps back, and the creature pauses for a moment. Well, this is new information. This is a fair exchange. I will tell you that it is a possibility that they are coming back. That would mean that the bonds the gods placed upon them are breaking. The seals themselves may be cracked. This is most fascinating. I can take you to my books on the subject, but know that there may be more information you will have to trade. And he whips around and starts floating. Literally, you notice that it's not walking, but floating just a couple inches above the ground as it turns and goes back down the stacks.
I shall follow him.
Ditto.
Okay, so then you get down to this section that looks like even he hasn't been in it in a very long time. In fact, this whole place just looks old. And I don't mean like musty, dirty old. I mean like it looks ancient. There's just a feel of the weight of time here. Things like probably the newest book that surrounds you was printed before your great-grandfather was born, type of old.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he walks down and he grabs, well, he actually sticks his hand out, and from the shelf a book slides out on its own and comes to his hand, and then he walks down, well, floats down to a table, sets it, and it opens up, and it finds its own page. And he describes over the next, you guys, I know other than Alpha, who's got his patron deity, does anyone else have like any patron deities or anything?
Nope.
Castro should, but he is not a druid for the right reasons, so no, he has none.
Okay, so basically, you get the same story from the librarian here as you got from old John up in the town. He explains everything, and then turns the page, and the text changes. It's in something that looks even more it looks almost draconic, but it looks much more primal. In fact, even those who read draconic have trouble with it. Much like how, say, someone that's fluent in late Latin would have a difficult time reading, like, say, a text from the early Empire, just because of the change in language.
Or us trying to read Old English.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he puts a finger down and points and says, "So, what information might you trade with me for the rest of this page?"
Information do you want?
Well, I think we have to figure out what information.
Do you know the glory of Gond?
Oh yes, I know much of Gond. In fact, we have an entire section here about him.
Oh, excellent. What do you know about him? Perhaps there is something that I can enlighten you on.
He puts his hand up, and basically you get like Gond for Dummies comes floating off the shelf, and he sets it down in front of you and says, "This is the index of Gondian knowledge. Please tell me if there is more that can be added."
I have no idea. Yes,
roll a religion check.
Yeah, 12.
Well, you do you want to roll deception?
What's my deception at? Deception, I think, is -1. Okay. So yeah, we'll roll deception. Yeah, 3.
3. You were going to try to add something and realized that no, this is a bad idea. He apparently knows as much as needs to be known. Although you're fascinated by the fact that there actually is a Book of Gond here.
Well,
yeah, you have to have craft books.
If he knows basic knowledge, then my next guess would be we tell secrets about ourselves.
I mean, that's not a bad idea, but I'm not sharing my secrets with all of you.
So what do you want to do about it? You want us to step out of hearing range so you can share your secrets with the librarian?
I don't think the librarian needs to know my secrets either.
All right, thanks for nothing.
Well, you got anything, Dane?
Well, I don't really have any. I can share with you my knowledge of animal husbandry, since it's what I've been doing for the past 30-some years of my life. Is there anything you want to know about sheep herding or swine herding?
I don't particularly want to know anything but the collection of this knowledge, yes. I'm sure there have been many changes in the animal fields since our last book was published here. And he turns and beckons forth a book, and it is an absolute antique. It's like when you go to an old farm auction and you find like animal husbandry for a new century, and it's from like 1895.
Right.
So it comes over, and you look at it and you recognize right away. It's kind of funny looking. You know, they've got like the old style pigs that look like cows, and um, highly stylized, and you recognize that yes, you probably can add some information. So maybe roll animal husbandry
All right. Do I have animal handling? That's a plus.
or animal handling.
Plus 0 for me. So hopefully I can roll pretty well. Okay, so 15.
Yeah. So yeah, you definitely you start like and yada yada yada, kind of talk about a few things, and he's like, yes, okay, excellent. And after some time of, he's obviously recording this, though you're not sure exactly how. Recording in the sense of writing it all down.
Yeah.
He thanks you and says, "Yes, this is excellent. I will share this knowledge with you now." And he proceeds to write out, basically take a piece of parchment and copy from the old text into new a list of descriptions and items, places, information that has obviously been lost to the centuries about the various old ones and who would be allies versus just enemies and where you can go. There's even a note that you see at the very end that says, "The warning of their return shall come from Mount Celestia."
I like to imagine that, like, while they're, like, talking or whatever, Castros is bored, so, like, the sloth wakes up again. His sloth wakes up again, and he just starts feeding it. Like,
Okay.
just feeding the sloth.
Oh, there's a couple people in our party that can't read, right?
There's at least one.
I think that's Ray, isn't it? Isn't Ray having...
Like, change of subject, okay. Continue on with the old one speak, oh, mighty intellectual librarian.
Basically, there's too much information to just read out, and I don't want to make boring pod that way. So I figured I'd just give you guys a printed sheet later, and then you could work through it, in future adventures.
Okay, sounds fantastic.
Okay,
Sure.
cool.
Castros will feed his sloth, and you now, if any party member were to notice, you would now see that around the sloth's neck has, like, a little leather collar that reads Jeremy.
Awesome.
Okay.
So, all right, you take your parchment. I'm assuming Dane's gonna hold on to it.
Yep, he's gonna thank the librarian profusely and tuck it in his pack.
Okay. The librarian kind of gives you a bow and asks, "If we are done here, may I show you out?"
Yeah.
Okay. He then walks you, instead of down the stacks that you were at before, to the end of a couple of large stacks which go to some stairs. And it's one of those old style, like, grand staircases where it goes up and splits. And he takes you up and to the right, and there is a archway at the top, same type that you entered.
Very cool. So I thank the librarian profusely, and I remind him, remember to cook your pig meat thoroughly, or you get worms.
Ah, excellent. I appreciate the additional information. I will remember your credit here.
All right, cool.
Castros doesn't say thank you because Castros has nothing to thank the librarian for.
Okay.
But he will hop through the archway.
All right.
Yeah. I also exit through the archway.
Ray also exits.
All right. You step through the other side into a just verdant chunk of forest, and you realize this is nowhere near where you had actually entered. You step out of a large opening in a tree, actually.
Okay.
Ooh, how high?
How what?
I'm assuming we're ground level.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah, ground. Think like the tree with all the knots in it in the Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you step out of that. It's still just the dark area there.
Darn, I wanted to push Ray off.
Excuse me?
Well, you've been annoying Castros this entire time, so he was just waiting. But no, we're not. We're on ground level. It's ruined.
I knew I should have stayed home.
Yes, but just think, you're in a forest. This is a new forest. Perfect thing for a ranger and a druid.
Yeah, a druid is happy to be in the forest.
Give me an hour and we won't get lost in here.
Okay. Oh, because you have like some type of range finding or whatever.
Yes, I do. Natural explorer for forest at your service.
Nice.
Are we in the middle of a forest or like on the edge of a forest?
You can't tell from where you're at.
The trees block the view.
Castros is just gonna like immediately climb up the tree and just like kind of follow along with the party, but like hop from like treetop to treetop. Keep to the shadows.
You start playing the cat game. You up there, you're like, you guys feeling all right, meow?
I feel like that's something he would do because he just wants to throw off the party as much as possible. So yeah.
I whispered to Dane, I don't think we should trust that guy.
Just imagining this ranger with the cracked ribs and, dislocated shoulder, like, I'm a cat.
Well,
No, I mean the druid. With the...
Druid, yeah.
Hey, this is also a druid that has a pet sloth just sleeping on his shoulder all the time, so...
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so...
Okay. So,
like chuckle, like sinister, like do a sinister chuckle, just kind of like to like startle the party, and then just like keep on moving.
Well, I can get us out of here pretty quickly.
Yeah, I look up at Castros and I'm like, you know what? This guy is really annoying. I don't know that
Ray's more annoying. I crawl down.
I beg to differ.
You're 30 feet up in the air. You can't hear me say something in a quiet monotone voice.
Do you want to roll for your pathfinding so I can direct you?
Sure. $11.
Oh, yeah, that's good enough. I mean, it's pretty basic where you're at. You realize based off, I don't know, taking a bearing from the sun and the moss of the tree and whatever else, you say, guys, we got to go that way. And you start leading them back towards basically civilization.
All right. Sounds great.
Castros will also like hop down from time to time and restock his herbalism kit.
Ah, good idea. Yeah, forage away.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll just say you'll definitely be successful. I mean, the forest is the forest around here. You're in a pretty temperate climate. I mean, there's not a lot of variety you're going to run into as far as you're not going to find something bizarre. Like you're going to find what you need. So,
cool.
Yep. So I think that's a good spot to leave it. We should pick up here next week with you guys reaching the town or somewhere near that, and then begin your journey of dealing with the old ones.
Yes.
Excellent.
I feel like just Castor is probably just like once he's in his own element back in the forest, he just prefers not to talk to people. It's like,
and I think we're pretty comfortable with that.
Excellent.
I don't think Castros is going to be a very well-liked companion, so I'm assuming that at some point in time we're going to be...
He's only here for his own entertainment and enjoyment because his own forest has gotten a bit boring and unpredictable.
But, if he's not careful, he might just get shot or stabbed in the back or told politely that he can leave the party whenever he feels like it.
I have a feeling we're all gonna be on each other's backs for a while now.
Well, right now, he doesn't necessarily like you guys, but he thinks you're fun to tease, as well as, he just wants to keep adventuring because it's more fun than staying stationary in some random forest. So, you're stuck with him now, because now he thinks it's just even funnier to annoy you every once in a while.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's annoy the dwarf when you only have 8 hit points.
Didn't think this through, did ya?
I mean, you guys are, what? You're lawful good, you're lawful neutral?
I feel like killing a chaotic neutral wouldn't be too far out of bounds.
I'm not doing anything evil. You guys just get annoyed too easily. Maybe you should build up your immunity, that kind of thing. You're gonna be up against, like, monsters. If you can't deal with this, then maybe you shouldn't be adventuring.
We can kill. I'm just saying, if you're gonna be part of a party, you're gonna have to be actually helpful.
Hey, I was helpful!
The entanglement spell was helpful.
And I beat down a door.
Yes, you did.
I knocked unconscious because you didn't want to hurt the monster.
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
Like, it's like if you saw, like, a baby puppy there that could maybe have been saved. See? So, like,
Baby
to a
puppies.
druid, any kind of monster, or at least to this druid, any kind of monster or animal, he doesn't want to attack if he doesn't want, if he doesn't have to. Unless it attacks first, then he's gonna put that animal in its place, even if that means through death. Anyways, good session.
Yeah, you guys rock. Like that opening and intro was so good. I just loved it.
Perfect.
Just Castros nailing all of his nature checks.
Yeah, that was good too.
Excellent. Cool. So, all right.
Club to the face.
So what?
After an undead club to the face.
Yeah.
Crumple.
Fantastic. All right. Cool beans. Well, excellent. Session 1 down.
Yep. Awesome. Well, I will see you guys next week.
This has been an Azentuary LLC production. Find us online at azentuary.com for our character bios, merchandise, Patreon, and more. Thank you for listening. Nat one.